fighting, there is no preset best way to play him. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it is time for the videos on my rank for Shang Chi to start, and what better way to start than one that has a 550,000 SP2. We will definitely be going over that. However, there's a lot more to this guy. Just like I helped the community learn, you do not need to fear decks with Cosmic Ghost Rider. I have realized it is extremely important, and a message I want to get across about Shang Chi is that you do not have a set rotation. He just flat out, in my opinion, does not. It is about learning his Wushu Strikes, learning how you want to use them, and then completely dismantling your opponent with them. I'm going to jump into very quickly explaining how to play him. We're going to go over to Aunt May. If you're not interested in that, there are timestamps in the description below in this video that will allow you to jump directly to the fights themselves. And if you're interested in making sure you catch all of the Shang-Chi action along with all the other videos, make sure you hit like, subscribe, maybe even consider sharing this out. I always appreciate the support. Here we go. We're going to go over some very basics on Shang-Chi. That way, if you've pulled him and you're interested in using him, you know how to get started. Also, I think it will help make sense in the fights you're about to see in my own video. There's a lot to kind of cover with this guy, but we're going to start with the very basics, the foundations, the building blocks. Also, thank you, Karate Mike, for letting me know that there was a dark mode on Aunt May. This is so much better for all of us. Okay, we're going to go ahead and scroll right down. And the main things to point out, to talk about, are his Wushu Strikes. Basically, you're going to receive some sort of benefit or put a debuff on the opponent based on the combos that you do. These are going to be the Wushu Strikes and what you're going to continue to hear me talking about in the fights. If you do a medium meeting, it is called the disarming strike. This is going to put a slow debuff on the opponent. If you do a medium, light, medium, this is the cleansing strike, which will, and this is very important to point out, will purify 3 debuffs that are already on you. You're going to see throughout this, I'm going to be using the Recoil Tree Suicide Masteries. He works exceptionally well with them, especially because, and as you will see, you don't need to throw a lot of specials, but this will allow you to get rid of the bleed and the poison immediately, and you're gonna see another one where we get rid of another debuff. Additionally, this is going to put these cleanses on you. You're gonna see that come into action. Then we have the breaking strike, which is medium, light, light, medium, so a 4-hit combo. You're gonna go unblockable. You're gonna see that come into play. You can really use that with this champion. And then the pinpoint strike, which is the medium, light, light, medium. So you're just standard 5-hit combo, which is going to stun the opponent. There's 2 other really important things to keep in mind when it comes to the Wushu Strikes, is that, let's just go with the default. The earlier on in your attack, or let's say reset with them, when they're all active, the longer either the benefit you're receiving from them will last, or the debuff that you're putting on the opponent will last. So if you really want to prioritize the stun, you do that first. If it's not as big of a deal, you do that last. Because we're going to be doing the suicides, I'm going to be prioritizing the cleanse. As you've seen, I'm going to do a lot of videos on this guy. You're going to see prioritizing a lot of different priorities for those Wushu Strikes. And then last, why they are also important is that each time you do that, you're going to receive a chi charge. So each time you complete or do one of these Wushu Strikes, these combos, you're going to get a chi charge. Why are the chi charges important? You may be asking yourself. Let's go straight to the SP2. Okay, each hit is a guaranteed critical hit. That's really nice. But you're also going to consume all of your chi charges, increasing the attack rating of each hit by 1017. It's really going to add up. We're going to go over 2 different ways of playing him. And again, throughout all of this, keep in mind, it's all about making your attacks, your attack plan, your rotation, let's call it, help you dismantle the opponent and the node that you are fighting. There is no preset best way to play him, in my opinion. It's all about, I mean, he's a Kung Fu master, right? You're assessing your opponent, you're assessing the node, and then you just dismantle them based on these Wushu Strikes and how you want to prioritize him. All right, let's jump into the fights themselves. All right, now it's time to get into the fights. Every single one of these fights was done on the way to the champion boss in 6.2. Shang Chi did all of them except for Guardian, who I did need for the magic fight, which is why I took him in. Keep in mind, all of these fights, the health pools of the opponents and the amount of damage Shang-Chi is able to put out while prioritizing certain Chi strikes or Wushu strikes, getting his Chi charges up, and then finishing them in a single SP2. We're going against this Sparky, as I like to call him. I'm going to prioritize the cleansing strike to get rid of the bleed and the poison there. You see that? We now have the four cleanse charges. I've placed the slow. I do not need to worry about Sparky evading. I went straight into the stun. And now I think I'm just going to work my way to that SP2. I don't even need to reset him. Sparky's health pool isn't amazingly large. I did do the heavy to reset all of the Wushu strikes. Straight into an SP2, 5 Chi charges. Sparky is dead. So that is prioritizing, of course, cleansing, and then the slow to prevent the evade. Moving on. Now we're going up against this Iceman. Iceman has about 200,000 health. Keep in mind, I'm going to have the bleed and the poison from the suicides. So it's going to be even more important to me to get my cleansing strike off early so that I can remove the ice damage here. Cold snap, thank you, Iceman, and then the bleed and the poison. Now they're gone. Remember, we talked about you can remove up to 3 debuffs. I decided to go ahead and go unblockable because who doesn't want to do that, especially if Iceman decides to play a little bit passive. So you saw me go unblockable for a nice amount of time there. We've now stunned him. I landed the heavy to reset all of the Wushu strikes. Went cleansing there. Again, I didn't need to. Iceman went passive as we've talked about. So guess what? We'll just go unblockable. 5-hit combo to stun him, because remember that is a stunnable after the 5-hit combo. Into the SP2, Iceman is down. These are obviously not looking difficult. It's about knowing your opponent and what you need to do. Now we're going to be going up against this Void, who does have an unblockable finale, so I'm going to want to make sure that I'm going to throw my SP2 to finish him off, so I don't have to deal with that at all. As you know, Void is placing these debuffs. I'm going to, again, prioritize my cleansing strikes. We're going to go medium, light, medium, bam. We've got those up. Now, something to keep in mind is that when I reset my Chi charges, or reset my Wushu strikes, with the heavy, I'm going to lose the cleanses. See, I just lost them there. So now I'm going to need to go in and throw one more cleansing strike. Bam, we're good. Go ahead and throw your debuffs on this Void. I do not need to worry about my hit combo. Go straight into the SP2 because I have those Chi charges now. And bam, he is absolutely demolished. He is dead. He was absolutely not a problem. Not a problem. All right, now we're going in against this champion boss who I have not fought in forever, and I have intentionally avoided going in and fighting this guy, but Shang-Chi is so good. I wanted to show you how this is going to work. We'll fast forward at some point so that we can kind of get through it a little more quickly, but the fight time itself was actually not long. I just don't want to ask you to wait through it all so you can get to the exciting parts. I'm going to completely be prioritizing, of course, getting the cleansing strike off to remove the suicide masteries or the debuffs from them. And then once that's done, I'm just going to work through my Wushu strikes to increase my Chi charges. Remember, each time you do a Wushu strike, you're going to get a Chi charge. And I'm going to focus on keeping the slow debuff off, because obviously that is part of the champion here. So there we go. I got the slow debuff on him. We don't need to worry about that. Went right into my cleansing charge. And now I'm just going to see, you're going to see me cycle through. I did the unblockable, then did the 5-hit combo so that I could stun him. Heavied to reset all of them. That's why they're now all orange. There we go. Disarming strike has been done. And you can see the orange upper left-hand corner, the passives all change so that I know what's active and what's not or possible. There we go. We're going to stun him. Heavy. And then keep this in mind. This is what I'm going to keep in mind. We've reset all of them. I did throw, there we go. I did want to get off the slow debuff. And then I think we had 9 Chi charges. Going to your SP3 will add on 4 Chi charges. So you're going to see us go all the way to 13 now. And you remember what that does for the SP2, right? We're going to increase that SP2 significantly. So just repeating that process. And this is definitely a way if you're going up against a big healthful opponent, or again, like a fight like this, where you want to skip some phases. Now we're at 50 chi charges. Here we go. Keep an eye on the red numbers. A lot of that is coming from the SIG ability, which I do have all the way up at 200. And we're going to get just shy. It's like 548,000 damage in one SP2, running the recoil tree, and we're at 67% health. It's a lot of hits. That's a lot of damage. No health, really. I mean, relatively lost. Now I just got to do the evades. This guy is incredible. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to get out a lot of gameplay on him. I'm determined because he is amazing. Could have really almost taken anyone I wanted to rank 3, but quite a while ago I knew I wanted it to be Shang Chi. I had some cold feet there at the end, but he is incredible. He's awesome. He is someone you need to understand how to play. There's not a lot of, let's call it, safety net with him, but if you know how to play him and you're comfortable with it, you're going to just be able to completely dismantle your opponent in the vast majority of fights. Understand the Wushu Strikes, understand what they do, how to reset them, and then you just go from there, because there is more in his kit, and we will cover that in future videos, especially if you actually want to see it. Just let me know. Let me know. Say, hey, this was cool. I would like to see a guide. I'm going to get out more videos regardless, showing Mordos and things like this in AQ, because he's awesome. He's incredible. And I know we're just not seeing a lot of him. If you take away anything, aside from the fact that Shang-Chi is clearly awesome, please take away, you do not have a set rotation, a default, just this is best with him in every fight. It is about knowing the Wushu Strikes, how they operate, what they do. You reset them, right, through the SP2 or the heavy, and then just dismantle your opponent and have an absolutely great time doing it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, what you thought. If you got Shang-Chi and you're like, dude, yep, this is what I already knew, or if you're wondering, wow, he's way better than I thought, I enjoy those discussions in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.